Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. Today is January 12th. It's 5 p.m. We are at the BPub Annex Building for our regular board meeting. I'll call this meeting to order. Do we have a confirmation for a quorum?
Confirmed.
Confirmed. I think we're expecting Daisy shortly. She'll probably come on her way. We'll get ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, we'll move to item D, workshop public hearings.
There are none.
There are none today. And item E, public comment.
No public comments.
No comments?
No comments.
All right, we'll move to item F, consent item agendas. There are 4 items. I don't know if there's, if I can entertain a motion, or if there's any that somebody would want to pull from consent.
Yes, I want to pull 4.
Okay, so is that a motion? Do you approve?
Approve. And then,
But would like to take
yes.
number 4 out? Okay.
Yes.
I'll second that then.
Okay, so we have a motion by Sarkis and a second by Joseph. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. All right, item for individual consideration, section G. We'll start with the general manager's report.
Good evening, Mark Dabrowski, Assistant General Manager. Our General Manager, Marilyn Gilbert, is remotely, and she's available if needed. So tonight on the calendar, we have our board meetings this evening. This afternoon, we had our SRWA board meeting, the first of the year. Coming up on January 21st is our January PubCat meeting. On February 2nd is our next SRWA board meeting, and our next board meeting is on February 2nd, so it's 3 weeks from today. So it's a short period there. Also add on January 21st, we've scheduled the Facilities and Program Committee meeting, and on January 28th is a Finance Committee, and our next regulatory meeting will be February 4th. So that brings us up to the next meeting. Also of note, on January 19th, we will have the day off in honor of the Martin Luther King holiday. And I don't have any specific industry in Brownsville news, but I would like to take a moment to recognize one of our employees who, after 24 years of service, will be retiring on January 23rd, Miss Judy Adams. She's here tonight? I don't think she's not here. She is our division manager for water wastewater operations. She'll be dearly missed, but she leaves a great organization behind. So I did want to recognize her before she left. So this would have been her last board meeting.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that, and yeah, definitely we're gonna miss her, and yeah, just appreciate all the time and effort that she's been with us. So thank you for bringing that. Any questions, comments on the calendar?
I'll just say, as the president of SRWA, I worked with Judy fairly closely often, and she was a great asset to our organization, and if she trained people nearly as well as she gave me information, we're in good hands.
Awesome, thank you for that, Joseph. All right, moving on to G2, consideration and actions for item pulled out of consent. There was one item, number 4. And I believe that, I don't know, was there any questions?
Yes.
Yeah. I think for this item, some of the questions we'll have to do in closed session. So I'm not sure from, Paul, is there an issue for us to come back and vote after closed?
No, there's no problem. The issue has been identified on the notice, so we can take care of it at this meeting. If you wanted the presentation that was packaged for this item, the presentation can happen now, or the chair controls the agenda, and it could be addressed at any
Yeah,
appropriate time.
we'll address it once we go to closed and also visit the other closed items.
But I think the presentation will happen in open, or have to happen in open.
Okay, yeah, the presentation is fine. I think there's specific questions that are not addressed in the presentation. That's why, I mean, I can comment, some of them are around head count and things like that, that normally we don't like to disclose.
Hello. My name is Eduardo Martinez. I'm the Safety and Security Operations Manager. We do have the presentation, and I think it was provided. It was pulled, it was to be considered for consent. I think at this time, historically, we've given this presentation closed session. So if that's all right with you, then we can move it to closed.
Right.
Okay.
Under the security provisions, and we already have a security-related topic, so we would just cite those same security provisions for this item taken when we go to closed.
Okay, so we can vote after closed?
Right.
Okay. Then we'll do that. Thank you, Eduardo, and we'll speak shortly. Moving on to item G3, staff reports and presentations to the board. A, Cameron County Resaca Program presentation. Rene Mariscal.
Mariscal. Yeah, good evening, Chair, members of the board. Rene Mariscal, Division Manager for Water Resources, Conservation and Compliance. Following up on last month's Resaca Restoration Program, we've invited Cameron County, Mr. Augusto Sanchez, and he'll be providing an overview of their program. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mariscal. Chairman, members of the board, thank you very much. My name is Augusto Sanchez. I'm the Director of Resilience and Natural Resources for Cameron County. So I'll be, speaking of the work that we've been doing over the last probably 5 years in Cameron County. But before, if you could bear with me, I've been getting the feedback that we haven't done much of an outreach of what this new department does for the entire county. So for a few slides, I'm going to do an overview of what is it that we do, and then I'll dive into the specifics of the Resaca Restoration Program. So it was in November of 2023. It was when this department was created. It was until 2024 or fiscal year 2025 when we have our first year with a dedicated budget. We were able to hire a regional stormwater manager and a coastal resources specialist. So basically, these are two of the main areas that we cover, which is coastal affairs and some water / flooding issues in the county. Now, for this new fiscal year, what we're trying to do is we're going to increase the number of people that we hire. We've been securing a lot of grant funds that need to be, for the projects need to be implemented. So I'm going to need a lot of help with that. So 2 more staffers, another coastal resources specialist. I need a GIS technician as well, and I think probably 2 other project managers. So this is the mission and vision of the department. What we really want to do is to foster a holistic community resilience in Cameron County by restoring, protecting, and enhancing its natural resources through education, nature-based innovation, technology, with a regional perspective. As we all know, when it comes to natural resources, flooding, water-related issues, jurisdictional boundaries are just that, boundaries, imaginary lines. So that's why we're trying to approach this, working with neighboring counties, all the communities involved, different special districts within the project area, whatever that might be. And of course, we're looking at Cameron County, where we have communities, economy, and natural resources flourish together. So innovation, stewardship, and long-term regional collaboration is emphasized in the work we do. I want to emphasize again, this is, although the main in the name is natural resources, we're really striving for community development and in a responsible way. So community comes first, economic development comes along with it, and then natural resources protect, foster to keep fostering these two elements. These are the main areas that I focus on, which is floodplain management. I am the floodplain manager for Cameron County. Drainage and flood protection. I work along with different municipalities and drainage districts in this regard. Green infrastructure, nature-based solutions, that applies a lot in, especially for the coastal area, especially the nature-based solutions. Water supply, this is something that is not really within the purview of Cameron County. As you know, we don't have utilities, we don't have water rights, we're really not involved in the water business, but Judge Eddie Trevino really asked me to get more involved with the main players as the drought conditions have been exacerbated for the last few years, and the issues with the water treaty with Mexico and the water deliveries. So our involvement is really to help coordinate and just be part of a united voice when we talk to our representatives in Austin and of course DC. And the last one, this is something new that I want to really start developing this particular year, which is a natural capital asset management for resilience and economic development. So it's really to have an inventory. What are the natural resources that we have out there? What are the ecosystem services that they provide to our community? And how can we improve them, enhance them, so we can have this economic development? With that particular focus, I've been in conversations with Port of Brownsville and with the Regional Mobility Authority as their projects might encounter some hurdles when it comes to the environmental issues. So we want to, with this particular plan, with the natural capital assets management plan, I really want to have lined up all different opportunities for when these big projects come. I mean, we can be in a position that we can offer help to help them expedite those things. Basically most of these projects are funded through grants. These are the main sponsors that have been that we've been able to secure. We have the Coastal Management Program and the Coastal Erosion Protection and Response Program from the GLO. The Water Development Board Flood Infrastructure Fund, we've been very successful with that one as well. With the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, the 3019 program, we've been able to secure also funding to implement the watershed protection plan, specifically for the watershed of the Arroyo Colorado. Through coordination and collaboration with Congressman Gonzalez, we've been able to secure HUD funding to address flooding issues. The Army Corps of Engineers, we rely a lot on the Water Resources Development Act and on the Continuing Authorities Program. The reason that I have that highlighted in red is because that particular CAP project, the 165A, is one of the recycle restoration pilot projects that we have currently, in the very beginning stage, the very early stages. And lately, the Restore program, the Restore Act program, you may remember the Restore Act is is funded through the civil and criminal penalties that BP or British Petroleum has been imposed after the oil spill of 2009. So that money is being disbursed. It's been disbursed for probably the last decade. So we've been able to secure some funding for that as well, mostly to address coastal issues. Total funds secured so far in the last 5 years is close to $35 million. That accounts only for the sponsored share. So there's different level of matching in different programs that we have, but in general, that's the amount of funds that we've been able to secure.
And matching funds are from the county?
Yeah, mostly. We've been able to mix and match different sources of funding. For instance, with the Water Development Board, since that's state funds, we've been able to. We had hazard mitigation projects funded through FEMA that required non-federal match. So we were able to use a Water Development Board funds to match those projects. One particular recycle restoration project that we completed in 2024. That's what we did, and I'm gonna talk about it. So we've been trying to mix and match depending if it's federal, state, and local for those resources. So. The recycle restoration program inception here, it's my mouse is working great. So it really started or after, of course, I know the city of Brownsville and PUE has been working with Army Corps in restoring different portions or segments of the recycle within the city of Brownsville and the PUE service area. But we really started looking at this at a county level after the 2016 floods. And the whole idea here is, I know that the legend is a little bit small, but I can explain that. The orange line right here is Arroyo Colorado. And one of the ideas is just to have a diversion point right after La Feria, which is right here. And so we can take water out of the Arroyo Colorado when we have high flow conditions, start flooding the Resaca, the Resaca de los Fresnos, which is the green one. And the reason for that is, you might know, but the Arroyo Colorado is supposed to have 25,000 cubic feet per second as capacity, but at 5,000 cubic feet per second, it's already flooding some subdivisions in Harlingen. So if we were able, during the storm, if we were able to divert water from the arroyo, maybe we can prevent flooding in Harlingen, which is one of the highly populated areas. And then, of course, for the restoration, have the water run through the Resaca, and then have another diversion point from the Resaca de los Fresnos into, in this particular case, the yellow one is the Resaca Rancho Viejo, and then connected to Resaca de los Cuates, which is this light blue one, so on and so forth as we move forward. So it really started as a big county-wide flood protection project that of course has a lot of different benefits like ecosystem restoration, recreation, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much where this whole idea started.
Is there a problem with diverting the salty water into these resacas?
Those are the things that we still have to look into. Now this is just the big idea, whether it's feasible or not. That's why, and I'm going to talk about water right here. So just make sure that if it's technically feasible, if it's legally feasible, and of course everything that economically feasible. So we're not there yet, but it's a good question. So, and this is the project that I was talking about, that we were able to match FEMA TDM funds with Water Development Board funds. So this is the Paso Real subdivision. Just north of the airport here in Brownsville. Historically, they've experienced flooding. There's a lot of issues in these subdivisions, as clogged storm drains and people have been filling out the resaca right here. So one of the things that we did was to increase an outflow capacity here. So we built, we had two 4x4 culvert boxes to have another outflow from this resaca or Oxbow Lake here into a lateral that belongs to Drainage District number 1. You can see the culvert boxes right here. And the other things that we dredged and cleaned the 22 acres of these resaca. We can get technical whether it's a resaca or an Oxbow Lake, but it's part of the same system right here. So, I'm sorry. So this particular project was finished in summer of 2024. Total cost was $1.4 million, out of which only 12.5% was paid by the county, and all the work was done by County Public Works Department. So it was all in kind. So it was a great way where we can leverage federal, state funds along with county forces. That's been complete. The last couple of rain events, we haven't seen any major issues as to flooding, so it's been working very, very, very well. This is the CAP 165A project, which is a multi-purpose resaca restoration project. As the continuing authorities program, Congress just increased the threshold of the amount of funding that you can go after in one particular project. So you can go up to 20 million now. The program that we apply, it was in the summer of 2024. It was probably one of the last awards from the Biden administration. It typically has a 25% match requirement, but this one, since it was a nationwide competition, so they only selected 12 projects out of 165 they received. They selected one of them, and one of the great benefits of this competition is that there was no match requirement. So the goals are to restore the hydraulic and ecosystem capabilities by directing flood waters into the resaca system, reestablish hydrologic periodicity in these resacas that will increase the restoration of the habitat, multi-jurisdictional resilience, enhance water quality, and nature-based solutions. One of the things with CAP, and it's very flexible on the approach you want to take. It fits. You can go through. They have two different ways, but the two that I typically look into is there's the flood management aspects of it, and there's the ecosystem restorations aspect of it. For Cameron County, if you go through the flood management route, you have to have a benefit cost ratio above 1, at or above 1. And for Cameron County, it has been very, very difficult to get there. We have very rural areas, very humble structures that we can save, very small roads. So that's been a constant battle. So if you go through the ecosystem restoration route, you don't have to worry about and still get the benefits of flood protection. So that's why habitat rehabilitation, ecosystem services restoration, that's the focus we gave to this particular project.
Could I ask a couple of questions? Maybe
Of course.
Just keeping it a little, maybe more high level than this. But so would you say that the county is looking to expand its resaca program?
Yes, I mean, right now we are, and I'll touch on it briefly, but we're looking at the resaca system in general to be restored. I don't know if expansion would be a good word, but that's the ultimate goal, right? We're attacking just little pieces here and there. There's really no structured way, and that's why I need the natural natural capital plan, so we can have a more structured approach. But
Are you
yes.
familiar with our program and some of the details around that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have we worked, I mean, this is kind of the first time I hear of you, so.
Okay.
Sounds like in 2022 or 23, you were brought on board with the county, but have you guys been, are they familiar with our program? Have they been engaged?
Mr. Martin, well, you want to answer that?
Well, just simply from discussions, but as far as actual doing work collaboratively, we really haven't done that. I mean, we're familiar with just on a general sense,
Sure.
of the programs.
All right. And the funding in general for you is you're looking for external funding?
Yes, that's how we've been able to fund all these things. Depending on how the program that we're looking at, there's the county has the venue tax that I've been eyeing and trying to figure out how we can implement that into this particular project. Of course, I'm not the only one in the county, so that's ultimately up to Commissioner's Court if they allow me to go that route or utilize those funds. But as of right now, it's mostly grant or entirely grants.
Okay.
So.
And this is just to inform us in general about the different bits and pieces that you're doing, or is there
Yeah.
any support that you're requesting from PB or?
No, I was approached by Mr. Mariscal a couple of weeks ago to present what is it that we're doing regarding Resacas at a county level, and
Sure.
and I'm just informing you all
Okay, good.
about that. Now, that being said, I'm always open for collaboration if we can leverage each other resources and help.
Yeah,
help
we've been
each other
reviewing
out, of
probably
course.
for some time to looking to see, what, how we can be more effective around that, or someone else to be more effective. So I'm sure
Sure.
that there's more discussions we can have, and if needed, come back, and present some of the details.
Of
But,
course.
yeah, I think for now, I think we're good.
Okay.
Unless there's any, I think we're good.
So my question to Mr. Mariscal, or to anybody who is able to answer last month, was about whether there is overlap between the resacas that PUB is currently taking care of and what other taxing bodies are supposed to be maintaining. And that's a very specific question, and I think there should be a very specific answer.
I have. The short answer is no. And one of the slides that I have here shows a screenshot. Yeah, this screenshot comes out of one of the reports that the Army Corps did for the Resaca study they did for the Brownsville area. They have numbered all the segments that they plan to approach. And here in these previous slides, right now for the cap 165A, I'm focusing in the south of the Omito area and south of Resaca La Parma, which are not part of what you guys are doing. So duplication of efforts is something that I look into very in depth. So yes, we're not trying to compete with you or do your work since you already have it planned out. So it's so yeah.
Yeah, and there's going to be no issue. I think the question was just making sure we're not double dipping or spending double or making plans.
Right, and it also included the other districts. Sorry, what are they called? CC.
The drainage district?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we talk to them all the time, and I have another slide there. Yeah, this is Green Valley Farms, which is south of San Benito after last year's March floods, and these are just some photos, aerial photos. So Green Valley Farms is right here, in one of the projects that we could probably use the 165A funds to use the Resaca system to send the water to Sweeney Lake, and then from there try to use the water for water supply. So, and this is an area run by Drainage District number 3 and Irrigation District number 2, which is run by the same person. So, so in a nutshell, yes, we talked to Drainage District and Irrigation District since there's a potential for water supply, like in this particular case.
Thank you. Can you go back to the other slide?
Sure. This
That
one?
Yes. So then I guess my question is, the areas where you are not covering because we're working on, is that, like, whose choice is that? Like, would they fall under your purview if we were not, I mean, the reason I'm asking this is there doesn't seem to be a good rationale for why PUB is involved in the maintenance of some of these resacas. So I'm wondering, would they fall under the county's purview then, if we were not involved?
Outside of this one right here, or the other?
In general,
In
any.
general, I mean, that sometimes it comes down to real estate, who owns it, and if there's utility easements or not, and who's in charge of them. In San Benito, the Resaca de los Fresnos that goes across the city is run by the Irrigation District number 2, for instance, and they're responsible for sending the water there, and whatever erosions they have in their bank and stuff like that. So accountability and ownership, it's also it's an issue that we look at. And we try to partner up with whomever it's responsible for that. If we can take on, if there's resources for non-acquisition, and then we can do a project and the county would own the land, then it will fall on the county. But it depends. It comes down to it's a real estate question. So there's really no specific answer. It's basically whomever has the rights on that particular property.
I see. My understanding is that for some of these resacas, we don't have any ownership, really. Would that be accurate, Mr. Mariscal?
For some of the resacas that we don't have ownership, a lot of the resacas are literally owned by the property owners.
Right.
Yeah, so most of the resacas are owned by individual property owners. Obviously, private, commercial, et cetera. We have easements. We may have some easements along the resaca for cleaning easements for the waterway in some of the resacas.
Okay, thank you. And this presentation is very useful. Thank you for coming. And I would be interested in perhaps discussing at a later point whether it would be possible, feasible, I don't know, whether there would be any interest to perhaps transfer some of the maintenance or responsibility for the resacas that, again, where we don't have any ownership to the county, if that.
Yeah, I think there's more discussions that we can have. Yeah, I think right now it's just a presentation, so it's really just getting started and sharing with us what the county is doing from the Resaca perspective. So I think we can continue the conversation and probably have more meetings around that. But yeah, thank you very much. Was there any other comments or questions?
I have a quick question. So has the county acquired property for the Resaca restoration project?
No, the Paso Real, it had, in that particular case, the ownership belongs to the residents of the area, but there's a dedicated utility easement. All that it's just that particular Resaca, and it was dedicated to Drainage District number 1. So when we did the project, we funded it, we did all the construction, but we had to sign an agreement with Drainage District Number 1 for them to maintain, from the, when we complete the project, thereafter. So, yeah. So we haven't encountered those issues yet. In this one, yes, in the Army Corps, we're in the middle of that, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
This is great, thank you. I was not aware of all the hard work you guys have been doing, so this is pretty cool. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you both. All right, we'll move on to G3B, presentation and discussion of the Brownsville Public Utilities Board Financial Performance Report for the period ending November 30th. David Medrano.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Usually it's Mike, but tonight you've got the second string, so hopefully I'll do him justice. So the first presentation, let's see. So the first slide is an executive summary.
Mind if I get you to talk into the microphone?
Oh, yeah,
We
certainly.
get yelled at a lot for not that.
Yeah, sure. So the first slide is an executive summary of some of our key categories that we follow. The first of which is the flow of funds. And for the month of November, the adjusted gross revenues came in higher than budgeted due to reduced fuel and energy costs. Year to date, we had $3.684 million, which has been generated to replenish the improvement fund. And the debt service fund, the good news is that it is at 2.25 times, which is well above the 1.25 times that is the required minimum. The next metric that we follow is the FPEC, which has generated an over-recovery of $22 million and change as of November 30th. This will be used to offset future market uncertainty. The FPEC rate for November was 3.862 cents per 1,000 kilowatt hours. The next is the City of Brownsville cash transfer, which is a little over 2% higher in the month of November than budgeted, which was due to a lower City of Brownsville utility usage with a lower FPEC rate. Next, we've got personnel, which came in a little higher than budgeted by 1%, and non-personnel came in a little lower than budgeted, primarily due to timing issues. So the good news is that for the first four metrics, all of them are in green, which is where we want them to be. Next is BPUB's average bill, which is lower than both the average MOU bill and the average IU bill for 1,000 kilowatt hours. And for the month of November, the average bill, average BPUB bill was $99.69. The CIP year-to-date actuals and committed totaled $6.2 million and $36.9 million respectively, which represents 47.2% of the fiscal year 2026 approved plan. So we're not quite there, but we're hopefully getting there by the end of the year. The good news is all key financial metrics are currently in compliance. Any questions so far?
Yeah, and maybe that's been the case in the previous slides, but I just noticed the term there, average bill, and then we also have the 1,000 kilowatt hours. Our average bill is not 1,000 kilowatt hours, right?
Well, the average bill, the dollar value of the
Okay.
bill, yeah, the dollar value of the bill was 99.69
Okay,
for the month of November. Yeah.
all right. And the, what was the cost of the 1 kilowatt hour?
The FPEC?
No, the total cost per kilowatt hour, round numbers? So you would divide that by 1,000?
Yeah, 9.9,
That's correct.
9.3,
For
whatever it was.
residential customer, $6.94, 95 cents
Is it?
a fixed charge, and then the rest is a per kWh. And so the 99 is composed of those two.
Sure. So then, yeah, I guess my first question was, is our average bill
1,000 kWh.
1,000 kWh?
No, that's
That-
just the standard used in
Yeah, the
Texas.
example,
Related.
the example to just, to get the rate actually there, multiplied by 9.9, so, you know, if you
Our
use
custom-
500, it's gonna be 400 and something, right?
Our customers use a little over 1,100 kWh on average
Yeah, yeah, I know there was different, that's why I was asking, but, okay, just wanted to clarify. I know online there was a lot of discussions around this, so just thought it was noteworthy.
Mhm.
But, go ahead.
Okay, great, thank you. So on the next slide,
Can I interrupt you?
Yes,
Sorry. So why was personnel higher than budgeted? The 1% just surprised me a little bit.
I believe that was just timing issues of when people leave. I'd have to get the HR person up here for,
I'm sorry. We did see 3 pay periods for the month of November.
yeah.
So that accounts for some of the additional over budget
Okay.
expenses.
The budget is linearly extrapolated over the year and doesn't account for small things like that, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So the next slide is the condensed statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. We do compare year over year, but for this purpose of this presentation, I'll be looking at the fiscal year 2026, which is November 25. On line 1, operating revenues were $41.169 million. Less operating expenses of $34.874 million gives us operating income through November of $6.3 million. Non-operating revenues, we deduct $3.385 million for an income before capital contributions of $2.936 million. Then we have capital contributions that we add to the income. That gives us a change in net position of $4.3 million, which we add to the net position at the beginning of the year. Leaves us a net position at the end of the year of $514,487,000. Next slide is the condensed summary of revenues and expenses, which has been prepared in accordance with the bond ordinance. We look at it actual versus budget. But for purposes of this presentation, I'll be looking at strictly the middle column, which is the actual. So year-to-date actual for operating revenues is $39.926 or $626 million. Other revenues of about $4 million and change for gross revenue of $43,642,000 through November of 2025. Less the fuel and SRWA expenses yields an adjusted gross revenue of $29.496 million. From that, we reduce it by a little bit more on O&M and non-operating expenses and debt service of $22,862,000 for a balance available after requirements of $6.634 million. Less cash for the benefit of the city of Brownsville, which is a component of the adjusted gross revenue on line 5. It's 10% of that, which gives us $2.949 million. The effect of the net of those two leaves us a balance available for transfers out of $3.684 million. And transfers out, which go to fund the SIP and the revenue requirements or reserve requirements of $2.251 million, leaves us a net amount of $1.433 million for total transfers of $3.684 million through November of 2025. Debt service coverage ratio as of November 2025 was 2.25 times. So all of that is good news for the first couple of months of fiscal year 2020, this current fiscal year. So this concludes my presentation. There's more detail if you have any questions. We can certainly answer those, but there's more detail in your
Any more questions, comments? That wasn't too bad.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you very much, David.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
certainly, thank you.
A lot better than Mike.
Thank you.
It's been nice knowing you. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. We'll move on to item 3C, quarterly report on General Manager CEO procurement authorizations, fourth quarter Diane Solitaire, yeah.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board. Diane Solitaire, Purchasing and Materials Manager. I'm going to give you the quarterly report for the GM procurement authorizations for the fourth quarter, October through December of '25. The procurements were mostly competitively bid out. They were state contracts, sole source, engineering services, or amendments to our current contracts that we have. The total amount for the water wastewater administration was $2,096,569.70. Electric was $893,659 with 98 cents for a grand total of $2,990,229.68. You have any questions?
Yeah, any questions, comments? Pretty standard report. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Moving on to item 3D, drought update.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Jaime Flores. I'm the Water Resources Administrator, and I'll be giving you the drought update. U.S. combined ownership at Amistad and Falcon reservoirs as of January 3rd, 2026 is 27.4%. Going back for the last three previous readings, December 13th, 26.4%, December 20th, 26.3%, December 27th, 27.2%. So there's a gradual increase. This is mainly due to transfers from Mexico and not from the rain.
So they did transfer?
A very small amount, very small amount. We're not what we were hoping for, but it was a little drop in the bucket, so it got us up to a couple of percentage points.
It's about 2 percentage points in the
That's
reservoir.
not nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It kept us out of the drought range, so it's good.
Thank you.
The National Weather Service, January to March 2026 outlook for the Lower Grand Valley, Deep South Texas. Warmer and drier than normal outlook is anticipated through the January-March 2026 period. Expect for cool and cold fronts and dry air intrusions to become more pronounced and frequent through February. The Falcon National Reservoir remained near historic lows at the end of December, and confidence remains near certain, approximately 100% on total reservoir storage remaining just above record lows through March. This concludes my presentation. The rest of the slides are in your packet. Do you have any questions? Thank you very much.
All right, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on along. Item number 4, election of board officers for 2026.
That's correct. So we normally do this in January, but so this is the election of the officers. We had a change of officers in July. When Mr. Rendon left. So I believe in your board packet is your
Can I make a motion?
motion.
Yeah,
I would like to make a motion to keep our officers as current, to keep the status quo.
Have we considered bare knuckle boxing for this? I will second that motion.
all right. We have a motion by Daisy, a second by Joseph. Any comments? Or I guess we vote on that, yeah.
You have discussion now. and then-
Yeah, we have a discussion. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, and this will help us kind of stay in the cycle as per our bylaws.
That's correct.
So similarly, I guess item number 5, consideration and action of possible approval of appointment of a Bay PUB representative for the Southmost Regional Water Authority. Similar situation in that, actually that may change, I think, per SWA. I think we might be voting
We
later.
might be voting on changing the term.
Okay, yeah, but for now, this is the item. Again, currently we have Joseph as a representative from BPUB, as essentially the president of the Southmost Regional Water Authority.
I make a motion to keep the status quo.
Second.
You know, we don't have to do that, guys.
You don't have a choice.
No, do you accept?
I'll accept.
Okay.
Unless
No. You accept.
Thank you. Okay, well, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Mr.
And that
Chair-
was Daisy motion, and then Sarkis second.
Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, Paul Gonzalez.
Mhm.
Just for clarification, the packet reflects the staff recommendation that we sync up the appointment to the representative of SRWA with the SRWA bylaws.
Correct.
The SRWA bylaws have two-year terms for the representatives, starting on June 1st of odd-numbered years. So we're already within the two-year cycle. So the recommendation that was in the packet would have this appointee serve until the end of May 2027, you know, unless they leave the board, right?
Yeah.
That would require a replacement.
Correct. So just to make that clear, is everyone still okay?
Yes, do we need a separate motion?
No, I think,
If the intention of your motion was to
The intention of
incorporate-
my motion was to go with staff's recommendation.
Let's revote on it just in
Right.
case.
Okay.
Although I do want to say, I don't know if I think the two-year appointment is a good thing, only because, the way our board works and the way people shift on and off, I could be appointed now, and in 2 years, we could have a completely new board.
Yeah.
So just something to think about.
yeah, I guess if that's the case, we can address it at the moment. But for now, I think it makes sense to align with the SRWA cycle. So can I have a motion again for that item?
I make the motion as stated by Council, Mr. Gonzalez.
I second that.
Okay, so motion by Daisy, second by Alejandro. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item number 6, consideration and possible action on the strategic plan, business plan 2026-2030, mission, vision, and values. Mark?
Yes, so in the December meeting, we adopted the strategic plan as presented, with the caveat that we held back approval of the mission, vision, values portion of the strategic plan in order for us time to consider input from Dr. Zamora. And so that was done in December. Our general manager sent you an email with some of the recommendations as we understood it. You should have that on your dais. The vision statement is highlighted in yellow. We have both what was in the proposed final version of the strategic plan, as well as what we understood some possible alternative would be based upon the input. And then we have the mission statement, which is highlighted in light blue on page 1 and 2. So at that point, it's for the board to discuss.
Okay. Is everybody clear on that, or is there any questions? Do I have any motions?
Do the motion to approve?
Okay, to approve which statements?
I think in both cases, I would vote for the primary statement. That's me.
Okay, because Martin, you're making a motion? Yeah, go ahead.
One motion.
Okay, so you're making a motion to approve the original proposed final version for both the vision and mission statement.
Yes.
Wait, can you read it? Which is the statement that you like?
Empower the great ones of the future through exceptional quality service and community leadership and opportunity excellence. So,
Yeah, it's a vision
I
statement.
think that sounds pretty good.
All right, that was just the motion. Any seconds?
I'll second it.
Joseph, any discussion?
So we're
Yeah, there's a motion and
we're
second
approving
for the,
the vision.
That's the vision.
The vision and,
The vision
and
and
the
the-
mission statement, which was just to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable utility services.
yeah.
that
I guess the item is together. We could separate it if Martin's motion changes, but it says consideration and possible action on the strategic business plan, mission, vision, and values. So it's all one item.
Okay, so the vision statement, I think I'm sorry. So what,
Yeah, so there's a motion to go with the original proposed, which is labeled here, proposed final version for both the vision and the mission.
okay,
Last month, we had those same presented. I think you were going to be providing, or maybe you and others were going to be providing some feedback. And the motion is to approve the original, the current motion, and second is to approve the
Vision and mission.
original vision and mission statement.
okay.
And there's discussion right now. If there's any discussion, if not, we'll vote.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
You can move
All
forward.
right, well, if no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, so, sorry here, we'll be moving to recess and closed. And I'll read here, recess to closed meeting to consider matters pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. At this time, on the agenda designated for closed meeting will be considered. If there is an approved motion to go into closed meeting, the listeners will be placed on hold until the board returns to the open meeting. Item 1 to be considered, meeting with board's legal counsel for advice about contemplated and pending court and administrative litigation and other matters in which the duty of the attorney under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct conflicts with Chapter 551, Section 551.071, including but not limited to any item moved to closed session and the following. A, reports of local and special counsel, including regarding potential or pending litigation involving BPUB. B, implementation of the MOU with the city and related matters. Item 2, presentation, discussion, and possible recommendation of information upon pricing of purchased power, generation, fuel, and their impact upon the fuel purchase energy and marketing charge, sections 551.086 and sections 551.072. 3, presentation of physical security risk analysis and countermeasures selection, sections 551.076, 551.0761, and 551.089. And lastly, item 4, presentation and discussion related to large-scale business development opportunities pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Chapters 551, Sections 551.087, Section 551.086, and Section 551.071. Do I have a motion to
Right,
convene?
Mr. Chair, just to note, we're going to add also discussion regarding renewal of contract for security guard services. As per the item on the consent agenda, it was moved into the regular items. That's pursuant to Texas Government Code 551071, attorney consultation 551076, and 551089, security devices.
Yep, thank you for that. That's item 4 from the consent agendas. All right. Do I have a motion to go into closed?
I'll move to go into closed.
Joseph, motion,
I'll
second.
second
By Nájera. It is 6 p.m.
All in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. 6 p.m. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, thank you, everyone. We're back from closed session. The time is 7:09. Thank you for waiting patiently. We do have 2 items to vote on. The first one was one we took out of consent, which reads, consideration and possible action to renew the contract for security guard services. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
I'll second that.
Motion by Sarkis, second by Joseph. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And the second item will be read by Paul.
Good evening, and for the record, the 2 members left during the closed session, so the mayor and Dr. Zamora are not present.
Yep, the mayor left at 6:15 and Daisy left at 7:07.
BPUP staff recommend that the board authorize the chief executive officer or her authorized designee to conclude negotiations with a large industrial customer as discussed in closed session and to present the finalized non-standard service agreement for sewer service to the board at the next opportunity for approval or ratification.
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion by Al Villarreal, second by Sarkis. All those in favor?
Aye.
And
All
I
those opposed?
abstain. I
Yes, you
abstain.
can. So Joseph abstains, rest are ayes.
Thank you.
All righty. That concludes our meeting. Do I have any motions to adjourn?
Motion?
Second?
Second?
All right, motion by Sarkis, second by Nájera. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, everybody.